to my channel. I'm Cristina for those of you that are new, and for those of you who stop by all the time, welcome back, and thank you again for supporting your girl. For the most sincere beauty advice, make sure that you subscribe to my channel. And make sure you ding that bell so that you're notified every time I post a video. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to do another fall eye look. This one is using more golds and browns. So it's more of an earthy kind of a look that we're going for here. And I'm using one palette on the eyes, and that is my Evening Glamour Blinc limited edition palette that I got in last month's, I think September's Boxy. Thank you, Boxy. All right, so let's just get into this, shall we? I'm going to start with my eyeshadow base, which you all know that I've been trying to use up my freshly repurchased NYX eyeshadow base in Skin Tone. And as I mentioned in my last video, I moved my mirror to the front of me instead of off to the side, which is where I had it. And I think it works out much better this way, because if I'm not covering my face with my hand like I am right now, you can see what I'm doing. Now I'm going to be using this eyeshadow palette that I got in last month's Boxy, and it's the Evening Glamour Blinc limited edition palette. And it has some beautiful, I mean, these colors, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I mean, it's just really, really beautiful colors. And I figured it'd probably be best if I'm trying to show you how to do different looks. Although I always tell you, you don't have to use what I use. If I just use one palette to try and do my whole look. So I'm going to start with Twilight, which is, let me show you here, which is this very cream, almost white shade. And I'm going to use that as an all over base for my eye, my starter shade. Now, I haven't used this palette. It's the first time I'm using the palette. I had it kind of tucked away. I got my Boxy, I looked at it, I set it aside, and I am just getting around to doing a look with it. I got October's, so this has got to be September's, and I got October's box, and I have that set aside as well because I got an eyeshadow palette in that one too. That one is just gorgeous. So I may do a look using some of those colors next. My Moda shade brush. And this is BMX466 shade. And I'm going to use, actually I'm going to use the blush because this is the eyeshadows are over here and the blush is over here. But I really like the way this blush looks, and I feel like it just wants to be an eyeshadow today. So I'll get my brush in there, tap off the excess, and I'm gonna go on my eyelid, the bottom part of my eyelid here. So what I'm noticing about these colors in this palette, they're very creamy, soft. They have a nice pigment, but they're not like I have to add a couple of layers before you really see, which is not a bad trait. It's just an observation. It's just what I'm noticing for the intensity that I want to get to. I don't have the option of, at least not with these two colors, accidentally putting on too much and it looking like I put too much. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to use this color called Nightfall. And if I can show you here, that one there. So it looks like a very deep, rich brown. Let's see if it is. And I'm using my Luxie 231 small tapered blending brush. And as you can see, I started to add color to it just now before I read that to you. Sorry. Tap off the excess. And I'm going to do this outer portion of my eye here. So it turns out this too is a shadow that you would need to build if you want intensity. So that's the third time that I dipped my brush, and I didn't tap it the second and third time. I left what I picked up on the brush. And as you can see, there's a lot of eyeshadow on the brush, but it's not really transferring to my eye. Do you see what I mean? So that being said, this palette might actually be a really, really great idea for beginners. I looked it up before I started recording just to see, because I got it in my Boxycharm, but they list the retail, what, you know, each item would cost as full size. I think this is a full size. I mean, it's the size of a palette. And it came up to be $25 or $26 retail. So it's not a horrible investment. I mean, it's, you know, it's not like you're going to buy, you know, something at the drugstore, which might, you know, be a little easier on the pocket, but the colors are really, really beautiful and they feel really nice. It feels luxurious. I'm gonna show you because it's hard to explain. You know how sometimes on, I don't know, lower end, cheaper shadows, when you dip your brush in there, you get a whole bunch of like powder, like it just kind of crumbles and it's all over the palette. Look at what I'm doing here. Ready? Grinding it in there. And I don't see any, like it's not falling apart. So it's nicely packed in there. You're gonna get really good color payoff, and you don't have to worry. If you're a beginner, you don't have to worry about, yikes, I just put on too much, because this palette, I've just used like the second darkest shade. The darkest shade after nightfall is midnight, and you know, I've had to dip my brush in there a few times to get just this intensity. And I'm gonna end up blending this out anyway. It's not gonna stay like that. So, you know, it might actually be beginner friendly palette is what I think I might call it. I'm gonna grab my blending brush, and you guys know that I love my A Design fluffy blending brush. I love this brush so much. I think my other blending brushes are starting to catch an attitude. But I really love well-made brushes. I'm going to use the Sunset color here. This one right there, that goldish color. It's got a beautiful shimmer, if you can see. It's got a really, really, really pretty shimmer. And I'm actually going to just use my finger. And do you see that shimmer? Ooh la la. Yep, and I'm going to put that right there. Right in the middle of my lid. Sometimes with shimmers and glitters, if you use your brush to put them on, you have to go through, you know, the trouble of wetting your brush, dipping it probably a few times just to get it just right on your lid. And so it's just easier, to time saver, to just use your finger. I mean, obviously, wash your hands first, but I'm assuming that if you are, you know, doing your makeup, you've already cleaned your hands. So I'm going to believe that for everyone. Okay, that's what you do. I have a thing against really harsh edges. If it's on the runway, fine. You know, if it's in my mirror, comb out my brows. So I'm going to use my Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade in Ebony. To do one of my favorite things to do is tightline the under part of my eye. I'm using Rimmel London Scandalized 24-Hour Waterproof Gel Pencil for you guys to see there. And I know that the reflection of the light there makes it a little bit difficult, but I'm gonna list everything in the description box below. So I just take and I lift my lid a little bit. And because this pencil is so creamy soft, it glides and I don't have to tug, I don't have to pull, it just lines my eyes very gently. To go with my Anastasia, again, waterproof cream color in Jet. And if I could find my liner brush, here it is. My fine liner brush. This is by Lavish. I like this brush. It's not as thin at the top. It's not like as I normally would like it, but I like it. And let me kind of sit up a little here so I don't disappear off camera while I go into my own mirror. All right, and that's all set. Now you can see even without mascara or lashes how that looks a little bit fuller, and you can still see the shadow because I'm doing kind of like a subtle eyeshadow, always bold eyeliner because that's just what I do. Let me just curl my lashes. Let me just find my mascara. Hold please. All right, and I'm going to use Tarte's Big Ego mascara. All right. Now I'm going to put on the rest of my face and I will be right back. I'm back. Rest of my face is on and now this matches this, right? So you can see, you can still see the colors. And I don't know why, but to me, even my eyeshadow looks different when I have the rest of my face on. So I don't know what that's about. Maybe it's just all in my head, but I did apply lashes. And I forgot to show you that on the bottom, although I don't normally put eyeliner, I did put my mascara, the Big Ego mascara. How when I'm putting it on, I mentioned in another video, when I'm putting it on my bottom lashes, I kind of wiggle it, but I let the bristles gently touch the base of my lash line, and that lets the color transfer from the brush gently to my lower lash line so that it puts a little bit of color without looking too bold. So I did add that, and then my lashes, the rest of my face, all of the details for the cosmetics that I put on the rest of my face as well as my eyes will be in the description box below. Let me know if there is something that I didn't mention that you want to know about, and I will be sure to answer each and every question that you ask me below. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure that you do hit subscribe and ding the bell on your way off to my next video, and give me a like if you liked what we did today, and I'll see you next week. Take it easy.